Well, good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. Here on Inspiration for Today, we're going to look at the last thing that Diane and I found on our trip that you've been watching for the last month that we wanted to share with you. And again, like yesterday, where we came across that national monument that we talked about at the border, when I was looking for something like that, or when we were looking how to find it, actually I stumbled across something of huge interest to me. I hope you find it that way also. But and I'll tell you what it is in just a moment. Let me give you the verse for the day before I forget, and I think you'll see how it fits in to this group of people that we're going to celebrate today. In chapter 6, verse 7 of the book of Ephesians, Paul writes, "Serve wholeheartedly," basically in whatever you're doing, "as if you were serving the Lord, not men, because you know that the Lord will reward everyone for whatever good he does, whether he is slave or free." And you know, a lot of police departments have on the side of their cars, or as their motto, to protect and serve. And from the Bible, then, we say to serve wholeheartedly. And I firmly believe that the police officers, close to 100%, not evidently 100%, but close to 100%, serve wholeheartedly with good intentions and all their heart. And I'm so thankful for those men and women that protect us. And I just can't thank you enough if you or family are in law enforcement. I just can't thank you enough. But we came across what is called the Border Patrol Museum. Now think about it. This is not local police. This is national, in a way, police. The National Border Patrol Museum. And it's in El Paso. And if you're ever in that area, I encourage you to go by. It's free. But that didn't mean it wasn't worthwhile. Think about this. If you are tasked with protecting our borders, then that is a massive undertaking. Think how many miles we have of border to protect. Now, the Coast Guard basically helps on the water part of our border. Although, as you'll see, there are some amazing boats that the Border Patrol has and uses too. But think of the land. In the north, in Canada, think of the snow and all the issues up there to patrol our border. And of course, the southern border has been much more in the news of late, but that's huge amount of miles to protect. Well, let me just give you a little bit of history on this, as you see some of the scenes I shot from the museum, especially the different modes of transportation that the agents use, and helicopters being one of them. Probably a very useful tool to cover large amounts of space all at one time. But there's every mode of transportation that you could think of. And as you see, there's, some are very, very old. What year would you guess the Border Patrol was established? Well, you probably were wrong. I would have been wrong. Except that I'm looking at the answer, and it's May 28th, 1924. Congress passed the act officially establishing the United States Border Patrol and authorizing 450 inspectors. So they started with 450 people to secure the border and establish ports of entry. Evidently we had not had, we had ports of entry, but it just wasn't enforced between them. Initially, all they provided the inspectors was a badge and a revolver. Each recruit had to have their own horse and saddle. although the government did provide the oats and hay for the horses, they were paid $1,680 per year. My, how probably times have changed. In 25, 1 year later, the Border Patrol was expanded to patrol the seacoast areas. And in that year, they got to the 450 people. So interesting. In the 30s, can you guess what the big issue that the Border Patrol had to enforce? What was going on? Yes, it was prohibition. And so during the 30s, the big deal was not having alcohol smuggled into the country. And I have no idea how good a job they did. The movies I've seen seem to say there was lots of alcohol around, but I don't really know that. Now, it was in the 30s, 1934, somebody decided that they needed much more training. And so the training school was started in 1934 in El Paso, and it taught a wide variety of topics, and including Morse code and patrolling techniques and firearms, and on it went. In 1933, Franklin Roosevelt consolidated immigration with the Bureau of Naturalization, and the Immigration and Naturalization Service was formed to include the Border Patrol, and that's still called INS. And that, of course, is still around today. In fact, today, we better jump forward. Our time's running out. But today, now it's under the Department of Homeland Security. It got really beefed up after the attacks on September 11th, 2001. And don't you think rightfully so? I do. So the Border Patrol continues under the INS banner now to serve our country. Over the years, literally hundreds have given their life while serving us in this way. At the museum, there are 2 memorial rooms set up. And that's the only part of the museum that they don't let anyone take pictures or video, because they feel it would in some way dishonor those people. I'm not sure I understand that, because I would want to honor them in every way possible. I'm thankful they gave their lives, what? Like our verse, serving wholeheartedly as if unto the Lord. We had Memorial Day 2 days ago, and these folks were not a part of that service, or in our case, in our show, of remembering the men and women who have died in protecting our country. I think they should be. Because these hundreds, I'm believing it to be around 500, maybe more, who have died in service to our country, protecting us along our borders. So I am thankful to them. I appreciated that this museum was built with private funds and is still supported that way. We live in a great country. I really feel that what a blessing it is that we, and just by God's grace, we're born on this side of the wall. We'll do another show on that some other time, because clearly those who are on the other side are just fine people also. And it's just different, isn't it? Well, I hope you enjoyed today. Thanks for tuning in, and we have some great shows the rest of the week for you. See you then. Bye.
Beautiful day. It's wonderful. This is the day that the